back of the rim. Got it! Oh, the slam! Oh, here's a Curry way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Yeah, it's a wrap. I'm pissed like everybody else. I like competitive basketball, so KD to the Warriors is quite literally my doomsday scenario. However, I also had time to prepare myself for the fuckery. If you gave this any real thought in the last couple of weeks, you came to one of two conclusions. Durant would stay with Westbrook, or Durant would join Curry. It was literally those two. Because outside of OKC, where was he going to definitively increase his title odds? The Thunder just came within a single win of the NBA Finals against the greatest team record-wise of all time. The Thunder have also either been in the finals or very close to it for the last 4 years if injuries were not involved. So in my opinion, were he to join the Spurs, Celtics, Clippers, yeah, a couple of those would have been great, but I'm not quite sure how much better of a chance he gets at a title to make it worth leaving the Thunder. But you know the option not mentioned there that makes him unbeatable? That would be the Bay. I felt like this is what LeBron was intending to do back in 2010 by joining the Heat. Hence the yes we did party, the hate that the move got. He was intending to stack the deck so high that there would simply be no competition. Of course, because of injuries after 2011, we never quite saw that come true, yet if I was a betting boy, I'd say KD is going to be successful and it's actually going to happen this time. One of the reasons being, the fit here is way better than any super team that's existed so far. When Boston got together, Ray Allen had to adjust his game. With the Heatles, Bosh had to take a step back, and Wade and Braun had to learn how to mesh their games. Those were two ball-dominant guys, used to being alphas and number ones, neither really being able to afford playing off ball, you get it. Once you roll that ball out in Golden State, you'll have Klay spotting up at any angle on the perimeter. Steph also moves very well off ball, so even when he doesn't have it, hell, now he's probably going to be even more dangerous. And yeah, KD is just going to KD with the most space any ball handling superstar has ever had at any level of basketball. Underrated notes here for me, the Warriors did maintain Iguodala and Livingston whilst having the main core three intact, so unlike the first year of Miami's combination, that lineup versatility is still there. And honestly, I can keep going on about the basketball side of this, but I don't quite think I need to explain why a former MVP joining a 73-win core is going to work. The league is fucked, fam. The Warriors are going to win the championship until the Warriors decide they're done winning championships. That or injuries, that's the one thing that always happens out of nowhere to these type of squads. Which does beg the question, it's what everyone's talking about today, what are we going to think about these impending titles down the road? I just got done reading an excerpt about Kareem and how he wasn't as giddy about winning his first title with the Bucks. Aside from the fact we know he didn't like Milwaukee, a teammate of his said that they were supposed to win, so it was cool but expected, and that kind of dampened his celebration. I understand I'm not a Warriors fan, so it might just be taken as hate when I say this, but I truly fail to see how any title this team wins will feel like a grand accomplishment. I'm not here to call KD a coward or whatever else the internet is doing on their breaks from barbecue today, but in all seriousness, the Warriors just suffered one of the most gut-wrenching final losses in history to a team people said they couldn't have beaten healthy. Just looking at it from here, I'd assume the Cavs are going to continue making the finals for as long as they please. Bron, Kyrie, and Love are probably there to stay. And that Eastern Conference, it's just not the best. So let's just say hypothetically, hell, this upcoming season we get Cavs Warriors 3. Once Golden State more than likely wins that, yeah, you did it, you got your revenge, I guess. But I don't know, would the Spurs have felt the same thing about beating Miami in 2014 if they like added Melo or something to do it? And so if they win 2, 3, 4, it just feels like they're gonna have to win around 4 or 5 for anyone to really be impressed, because this roster sets the bar that high. Then looking at it for KD, man, talk about a makeover. This was one of the, if not the most likable guy in the league. Due to his decision to form this, I'm gonna call it a hyper team with players that just beat him. I mean, the Thunder and Warriors were looking like there was gonna be a rivalry for years to come. I ain't gonna call the man out his name. Again, I knew he was going here if he was leaving at all, but shit, man. There's not much more he could have done to take his image like this. He leaves Westbrook with a roster now that surely shouldn't make the playoffs. I don't think that relationship is ever gonna be repairable. I know LeBron just went back to Cleveland and won a championship. If KD ever ends up with OKC back down the road, who knows what's gonna happen now? I mean, a rebuild around Westbrook, that's interesting. This roster is flat out terrible. It was one thing to have KD on it. Without KD, it's not going anywhere. It's the same thing as 2015 when he was injured. And I would say I'm looking forward to the first KD versus Westbrook game. I kinda am. The teams are gonna be extremely lopsided, but just to see that interaction on the court now, because I was under the impression those two were inseparable. That just shows how much as fans we have no clue what's going on behind closed doors. Russ has got his issues as a point guard for sure, but he's also still one of the most talented guys to ever play the game, or at least athletically gifted. I think that's the other part about why people are going to be so mad about this, other than KD going to Golden State and that being a great team and that being the rival. It's just that it feels like these two could have figured it out. Finals in 2012, conference finals 2014, conference finals just now. well, I just went over it. They compete every single time they're healthy. So it feels like he just kind of gave up on the process, which when you look at LeBron leaving Cleveland, there was no number 2 for him to work with. I don't know. All in all, before this Warrior squad even plays a game, I'm here to declare that it's the greatest team to ever exist, and anything less than a dominant championship next year is a complete failure. Also, if you come to the crib and pick this team in 2K, I'm showing you the exit. If you're not a Warriors fan, your team is effectively doing cardio for the next how many ever years. Good day to you.